welcome to day 15 of my 28-day British accent challenge. Today we're going to look at the two consonants, th as in thought and v as in this. As you can tell, one is voiced, this, and the other is aspirated, thought. Now this essentially means that the air either passes over the vocal cords or out of the mouth. And you can tell whether it's an aspirated consonant because if you put your hand in front of your mouth, you'll feel some air. The main difference between these two sounds are the kind of words you're going to come across. I'll give you a list and you'll see for yourself. So I'm going to start with thought, thank, thorough, think. And you'll notice that my tongue comes forwards and touches the teeth. So this is very much the opposite to what I've been telling you. I've been telling you not to touch your teeth with your tongue. But on this occasion, the tongue comes forwards, it touches the tooth bridge and the teeth. Thought, thought, thought. You may notice that the tongue comes out of the mouth slightly. I'm not really trying to do this, it just happens. My main aim is to touch the inside of the front teeth. Thought, think, thank. Because it's an aspirated sound, I'm stifling a smile, so I'm just pulling in these muscles here. So obviously a really good warm-up is to stifle a smile and hum. When we stifle a smile, we just control the airflow, so we stop it all coming out in one big rush. And when we hum, we open up these cavities in the back of the mouth, which is really important because otherwise, when you pronounce a TH, you could be focusing all your attention on that movement of the tongue, and we really don't want that. We want the voice to resonate in these cavities back here for the vowel that follows the TH, because the most important part of any word is the vowel. Thought. So if you consider this first word for me, thought, the tip of the tongue has to come up for the TH, and then it has to come down below the inside of the bottom teeth for the or, 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 or. And when you're practicing, this is very important. It's very important that not only do you get the correct pronunciation for the TH, but you also really focus on the resonance of the vowel. It needs to be the correct position, and obviously the resonance needs to be in these cavities at the back of the mouth, so cave area and throat, or. For or, it's a long vowel and it requires us to lift the soft palate, so the sound is traveling up here. In a moment, we're going to go over some sentences and we're going to focus a bit more on this sound, which is why I've helped you with both the consonant and the vowel. But first of all, I'd like to take a look at the strong voiced TH. This, that, these, those, there, them. So you'll notice that there's not a lot of meaning to these words. It's not like thought and thank and thorough, which have a kind of emotional connection to them. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, she's so thorough. With these ones, there's not that much meaning there. It's all those little, very important connecting words. These, their, them, okay? So they can be the subject of the sentence, but they're more often just little words that we skip over. And these are most likely to be the voiced one. If you have any doubt about which type of TH you need to pronounce, then just go to either the Oxford or the Cambridge dictionary, type in the word, and you will see the symbols. And now, after this lesson, you should be more familiar with the symbols for these two sounds, and you'll see the strong voiced TH, these will pop up now, and the aspirated, weak, unvoiced TH will pop up now. So really do make sure you pay attention to the symbols. and look them up when you need to. We're going to look at some sentences now, but before we do, we're just going to go over some of the possible mistakes that could be made. So I very rarely see people confusing these two sounds. I think it's quite difficult to pronounce them incorrectly in the context of these words. What does happen though is that people can focus a bit too much on the front of the mouth to the detriment of the vowel. So we get thought, thought, or thank, or these, because they're focusing too much. Another thing that sometimes happens is that people get so used to pronouncing the TH that they pronounce it twice. So rather than saying these with an S at the end, they might say these. So just be aware of what's going on with your pronunciation. You may also find that you need to strengthen your tongue. If in your own language you don't have sounds that require this movement of the tongue up towards the tooth ridge, then you want to start strengthening your tongue. And you can do this just by holding something up in the highest part of the palate. Traditionally in speech therapy, it's something like a Haribo kind of sweet, like a soft gummy sweet. People have used chocolate, cheese, fruit, dried fruit, all sorts of things. So see what you can find, and 3 times a day, you want to be holding it up in the middle of your palate. It can be a little bit of a strain, so you might want to find yourself something to do to distract yourself, like washing up or writing an email, or if it's for a child, drawing a picture. You'll find that after a few weeks your tongue will start to become stronger. And if you have some time today, you might want to think about reviewing the sounds that have come before, because it's day 15 today, and I really do recommend reviewing previous sounds every 5 days. If you don't have time to review everything, then just review the last 5 days, or wait a few days, perhaps till the weekend, when you have more time. Okay, so we're going to move on to the sentences. Please do feel free to rewind this video and practice the words a little bit more, or go back to day 1 and practice the warm-up. And then when you're ready, we'll move forward and we'll look at some sentences. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought I thought. You want to practice the sounds on their own before you begin. So I really have to stifle a smile here because I'm repeating this consonant over and over again. Otherwise, I'm going to trip over my tongue. Okay, so thought. You also want to make sure you've got the positioning for the vowel correct. Or. Tip of the tongue down, lower jaw down, and the sound is traveling up into the cavities around the soft palate. Thought. Because I often hear thought, so thought. So make sure that you focus on the vowels, because the vowels are what really give us the sound of the word, and that's what helps us to identify which word it is. Another thing that might help you is to be aware that we don't need to pronounce all of our T endings here. I thought a thought. I pronounced the T in thoughter. I thought a thought, but the thought, but the. Because of the way we speak in English, we tend to leave off a T at the end of but, because we've got the TH straight afterwards, and that helps us to link, just helps with flow. So, but the thought, but the. I'm not pronouncing the T there, but the. And I'm giving you this information because we've already studied T, and I think it might be useful for you. But the thought I thought wasn't the thought, wasn't. No T at the end of wasn't the thought, I thought. So this little exercise is more for advanced speakers. So now you know we don't pronounce the T at the end of but, and we don't pronounce the T at the end of wasn't. So I'm going to do it again. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought, I thought. So I'm pronouncing my T's at the end of thought, because they flow in nicely to things like thoughter. But I'm not pronouncing my T at the end of but or wasn't, because a T followed by a TH, but the, wasn't the, doesn't need to be pronounced. And this is because consonants flow really nicely into vowels, thoughter, thought. but consonants into consonants tend to merge together when you have a T. So the T ending is just forgotten when the next word begins with a consonant. And I have lots of information on this. I have blogs and things like that. So if you want more information, then you could always just comment in the comments box and I will send you a link. Okay, next sentence. Think of your favorite author. Think, author. The aspirated, soft, unvoiced TH. I thanked them for being so thorough. Thanked them. Again, normally the ED in thanked would be a T, thanked. But because I've got the word them, I'm just merging the two together. I thank them for being so thorough. I thank them for being so thorough. But if that's too difficult for you, don't worry, because when we emphasize a word like thanked, we're more likely to pronounce the T ending. I thanked them for being so thorough. Okay, so it's okay. And now we're going to move on to the voiced, what's known as the strong TH. There those three thieves go through. There those. This is theirs. That time I managed to just do the voiced, the strong TH. There they are. There they are. So you're going to want to stifle a smile a bit there because we've got some repetition of the same consonant. There they are. Well done. Take time to practice these sentences. Remember that the warm-up is your best friend. So if ever you have a difficulty, come back to stifling a smile and humming. If you like this video, please do like it. If you're in a hurry to look at all 45 of the sounds in the International Phonetic Index and to find out more about what really makes a British accent, then you can just scroll down to the comments box where you'll be redirected to my membership site, Fran's British Accent, and you will find 60 plus videos and you'll be invited to at least one group coaching call delivered via Zoom. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.